The only good thing about him pulling guard is I'm noticing that Foster, when he's on top, he keeps putting his hands to the mat, which is a big no-no in jiu-jitsu. You actually want to have your hands somewhere on the midsection of your opponent or using it for posture. You don't really want to have your hands on the mat because you can give up overhooks. So you see on the far side, he has that overhook. He's going to try to push it through, and actually that's a triangle setup. He's actually taking away Chris Foster's power hand by having that left overhook. That left overhook is Chris's right is his power hand.
Mm-hmm. And Brian Danner fights out of Evo Fight Club out of Vineyard, New Jersey. Also where Al Buck fights out of. Yeah,
Al Buck's a good fighter. He's got tons of experience, but he likes a little technical stuff here and there, like the high-level jiu-jitsu and stuff. But you know, this guy Foster looks good. He not really, his top game doesn't seem too great. We haven't seen him on his back, but he really doesn't keep himself in too much trouble. He's good at posturing up and landing small little shots, and he stays composed. He's not afraid to throw. He's got great head movement.
He's got some head movement. He's got good hands because he's already put down Brian Danner twice.
Yeah, and he does look like an undersized 55-pounder. I don't mean to say that as a bad thing. You know, sometimes it's actually good because you could slip yourself out of position. But he does look undersized, but he's holding himself up fine.
And there's also the speed factor, you know.
Yeah, the guys that are undersized have more explosive muscle. Like, you know, they got that fast twitch fibers that he definitely has. You know, and he does everything pretty much right so far. He's doing a lot of head fakes, a lot of foot fakes and stuff.
Yep, and throwing those right hands.
He does have a bloody nose though, but it doesn't seem to really bother him that much. He's got seemed to have great conditioning. His corner, who he's fighting, Brian Danner, not even taking a seat in between rounds, looking conditioned himself. He might have lost that round, but he's not tired much. And as we this in between rounds ending up, they clapped them out of the rounds. We're gonna get ourselves ready for round two. I expect to see Chris Foster coming out with good strikes. Trying to strike and sprawl on top of him, not really end up on his back.
Yeah, Chris is going to want to end this thing, but you know the Butcher's looking for a good second round here.
The one thing I want to see if Chris Foster's got a game off his back. I myself used to be a training partner with Frank Shamrock, and it's a very similar system. You know, they do have stuff off their back. You know, it's different type of submissions, but it's a very complex game. And there he is on his back. He does have a size advantage, and he gets right to half guard. So we'll see what Chris tries to do. He sort of trying a little lockdown on the far side, trying to get his knee inside, and he's right in the mount. That's the one thing I saw in his game was that he on his back he'd be a little undermatched. He's got a pretty high mount here, actually.
Yeah, this is bad news.
No, this is bad. Chris actually has his knee stuck in his butt, but he's actually not in a bad spot being against the cage because most likely he'll throw his legs up and try to push off the cage, but
no, he'd have to get his legs around because right now it looks like Danner's able to tee off on him.
No, and this is where the size factor comes in. This is where you see an advantage in size and just positioning. You know, he actually made one mistake in just overcommitting for a strike, and you see him on his back. And this fight could easily be finished if he creates some space and gets the hands off his waist.
Oh, now he's giving up his back.
That's a deep choke. What Foster should be doing is trying to be rolled to his back, but he's pretty much letting that choke get sunk in.
Oh, he's looking. Foster's looking in a bad position here.
No, he's tapping. Yeah, he had his free hand on the outside, not even trying to take the top hand off.
Well, good-looking fight by Danner.
Very good fight. Way to come back after losing the first round, getting himself a submission. You know, he knew MMA is a lot about just getting position. You know, once you get that one position, you're fine. You know, you want that one position you're comfortable in. Apparently, being on top is his position.
That's right. You know, Danner took some big shots, persevered, came through, and actually won the fight and finishing it in the second round.
That's somehow how MMA goes. You know, sometimes you get a guy first round, you outstrike him, blah blah blah. Takes you down in the second round, you can be kind of screwed. You know, it could throw you off. You think you're cruising for a victory, and you get taken down, the fight's over. You get into a position where he's a little undersized. He can't push a guy off like that. He gives up a mount immediately, and the fight's over.
All right, they're bringing the fighters together, so let's go up for the official time with Chris Garrity.
Ladies and gentlemen, the end of this contest comes at 1 minute 37 seconds of the second round. All for your winner by rear naked choke, the Butcher, Ryan Danner. And ladies and gentlemen, presenting the winner's medal from Cusano Cigars are Mike and Joe Cusano.
And he's wearing that ASC medal. It's got to be tough to take your first loss, though.
No, it's not easy. It's a little bit of a learning process. You know, some fighters don't recover from losses. You know, like they can mentally defeat you. You know, you got to think there's another day you can fight again.
Well, you know, in MMA, there's a lot of ways to win, and so that means there's a lot of ways to lose.
Yeah, you know, if you look at the difference between boxing and MMA, guys in boxing will be, once you go, if you're 33-0, you're fine, but if you're 33-3, you ain't getting a pro title.